Hi everybody, welcome to EDU Insight with me, Akhimullah Razi. Today we'll be talking about low proficiency of Malay language among students. As we know, our education today are using Malay language as a medium in education. Thus, there is a concern when there is low proficiency among students because if they could not understand what is taught to them, then how would they perform in evaluation or examination? That's why we need to address this matter to ensure that our students not only can understand it but also can use it efficiently, and because Malay language itself is Malaysia's national language. First limiting factor or the first contributing factor to this problem is geographical distribution of population. We have to know that in certain areas with high population of specific races or in rural areas, they tend to use other language other than Malay to communicate among themselves for businesses or for daily communications. Thus, it does not encourage the usage of Malay. That's why most of them would have less knowledge or less proficiency of Malay language when they were in school, because initially their only exposure was in school and their only usage was during class, and that's why they would develop lower proficiency of Malay language. Would be limited interaction among social races or social community, because the students would tend to be in the group where they use the same language as they are. They wouldn't be socially interactive among others, those who doesn't speak their language. They tend to be in their group, whether going for recess, whether in group work. So this also doesn't encourage the usage of Malay language among them. So that's why they have less proficiency of Malay language. Besides that, since they have this tendency to use only their own language at school, it also brought out to their social environment. So eventually, in outside of the school, they would also only go to stores or only do business with those who speaks the same language as they are. The third factor would be limited exposure at an early age. This is because from an early age, the child of a minority will be raised in a condition where they would use their own language rather than Malay. They doesn't introduce Malay language early from an early age, because they would feel much more suitable and much more comfortable in using their own language. That's why the child would only get exposure to Malay language when they enter kindergarten or primary schools. Thus, they have much slower development of Malay language, and which leads to lower proficiency of Malay language when they enter secondary or also tertiary education. Next factor, or the fourth factor, would be lack of motivation. Lack of motivation will refers to individuals. They do not have the drive, or they do not have the desire to improve themselves, to improve their proficiency of Malay language. They would they read less. They do not use Malay frequently. They would tend to use their own language more than Malay language. So that's why they have lower proficiency. Because if they do not have their own drive to improve themselves, so how can others help? The first way in overcoming low proficiency of Malay language among students would be early exposure. It is important parents to provide an early exposure to their children, so that the children would develop a better proficiency, a better understanding of Malay language at an early age. Because if they had that early exposure, they would have better and sooner understanding of Malay language and its structure, and they would later then be much more proficient and be able to use them either to communicate informally or formally throughout their life, from they are small until they are adults and in working areas. Thus, there is the need for the early exposure from parents to their child. An alternative would be to increase the level of self-awareness. This means individual must have self-initiative and self-awareness to increase their proficiency level. They need to read more, they need to engage more in interaction using Malay language, they need to write more so that they could develop better understanding and develop better mastery of Malay language itself. Thus, it is important for each and individual to have that drive, to have that desire to improve themselves from time to time, so that they would become a much more proficient Malay language user. The third way in overcoming Malay low language proficiency among students would be to be proactive. This will be a major role that is played by community specifically, because uh, community themselves can actually held classes among themselves, so that they could be educated on using Malay language much more efficiently and proficiently by having classes like once or twice a week. Besides that, also we can also have schools to have much more activity that would allow more interaction between students by using Malay language itself. And plus, there is also a need for in academic institutions or NGOs, non-governmental organizations, to locate and search these areas with low proficiency of Malay language and address this issue by providing community service, by providing them lessons, by providing them education, by providing them resources, so that this can be improved by reading, by communicating, and also by writing. One would be by the governing body itself. It's more towards restructuring and implementation. Restructuring would suggest that the government restructured our education system to use the same unified model, which uses Malay language as the core medium in administration, in education, and also in communication. Because those of the vernacular schools tend to use their own language in communication and also administration. So this doesn't promote language proficiency, doesn't promote Malay language proficiency specifically. Besides that, also we need to implement some set of rules, some set of proficiency level that should be adhered that should be adhered by all of the citizens in Malaysia, according to factors like age, locality, their occupation. This is to ensure that each and everyone in Malaysia can speak they can speak Malay and have better proficiency level whenever they are required to.